bit too handsome.
Oh, thank you.
I
try to fight against type, be a little self-deprecating, because people don't enjoy good-looking people telling them what to laugh at.
No,
They
don't like it. They're like, this is an ugly people craft. We have to use it for survival, and you don't.
Well, and I think it goes back to the stereotypical thing, like, if you're a jock in high school or college, the door shit into comedy. You can't be cool getting pussy and also be the comedy guy. That was my manifesto.
No, you can't be. You can't be pulled. Hold on. Start recording. We're not streaming. We're just recording. Okay. Say that point again. You can't be the cool guy.
You can't be the cool guy in jock who fucks everyone's girl and wins the championship and then also be the comedy guy. Now, I think I am, but comedy is usually meant for the outsiders. But I felt like I was an outsider my whole life too. So
yeah, but that's the haircut though, right?
This is new though. This is a new development. I used to have a normal haircut.
And then you would, but this is tempering it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it adds to this, and the 40-pound weight gain, I think helps. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Two things to make you funnier.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I have sideburns and old age.
You rock them though. You rock them.
I let those things. Otherwise, I'm just a white guy. If I don't have sideburns,
the middle-aged creepy guy is a great character. That's a great character. I mean, it's always been funny.
Yeah.
People can pretend it's not. Like, can you believe what was the guy Al Bundy or whatever? Like, what did he say? It's like, no, he's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
everyone loved that. Even kids loved that.
Yeah.
When Al Bundy would make fun of those women's fat feet when he's trying to put shoes on their feet.
He's the man.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I still like that stuff, eh? If you just watch Al Bundy.
I'll go down a YouTube compilation, just get fired up, and I go, yeah.
That was just like when
women are stupid.
That was old television. Old television was all women are dumb and men are so smart, and now it's opposite.
They were onto something. No.
Yeah. And now it's opposite. Now men are always dumb and the women are always smart.
Well, and God forbid we just have like a real conversation about different genders, different people have different strengths and weaknesses. It's like, everyone's the same. It's like, well, that's not remotely true, but we have to pretend that it,
No, it's not true at all. If it was
people
true,
have different personalities, different things. Like, it's not,
Yeah, and there's clearly men and women things, and even you're like, because otherwise we'd get each other.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And we don't.
No, not at all.
Yeah, they don't
Nobody's
get us.
mastered it. No.
You know what? Well, as long as you're bashing women, we're technically haven't started the show because we're. Oh wait, I got the.
I think we got to go on.
All right, look at that. You got the logo right over. The logo is right over her face, and we always have to do this thing before the show actually begins. This is what's called a cold open, Jake. A cold open.
I like it.
So we're just like shooting the breeze. The crowd who's listening to this program, watching this on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, they're like just like a fly on the wall now, right? The show has not begun. This is just chit chat before the show around a nice Dutch Hall meat tray over some Bud Lights, which I did not abandon the Bud Lights just because of the whole trans.
I did. No, I don't care.
I know it's the dumbest thing ever.
I'm not a beer guy. I'm a rum. I'm a tequila and a cocaine guy, really. But beer is fine. I'll have a couple beers, like whatever.
Rum is your first?
Rum, for sure. I could drink gallons of Bacardi and drive home. I love it. Yeah.
You love rum?
I love rum, yeah.
Yeah, rum is on the last. My wife is a rum girl, though. You guys can drink rum together. But I'd go, if I had to rank the boozes, I would go, is this what I'd like the best or what I would drink the most?
What's the difference? I mean, I usually like to drink something that will get me fucked up, and that's hence why I enjoy it, right?
Right. For me, it's like I like whiskey. That's my favorite. Like rye whiskey.
You're a man. That's a man drink.
Yeah. But then bad things happen in my life, right? Lots of fun. Yeah, lots of fun, and then something bad, like progressively bad. So then I switched to vodka, like vodka sodas, I'm
allergic to vodka. I get out like on hives.
Oh, really? Why? You try the Tito's? Maybe it's because it's
I've tried every vodka, dude. All of
really?
them.
They all give you that, eh? I like gin, eh?
Gin's a black person and a dumb girl drink.
Oh yeah, it is a girl.
Every black I know loves gin, and every girl who is just really dumb likes a gin.
Usually because of what they mix it with. Because black guys usually like sweet drinks.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that a racist thing? Of course it is. We're saying black
Call my
guys
friend
like
Jamal and get him on the line.
Yeah, find out what they all like sweet drinks.
No, I think it's true. I had it's also in high school. You remember stuff like I drank a bunch of gin one time trying to be a cool guy at a party, puked all over myself, made a total fool of myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, never again. No, that was a lie.
Yeah.
But the gin I never drank again. I just don't like the taste of it.
Yeah.
I'm a rum guy, dude. Rum, and I know this
Tequila's
is corny,
good,
but tequila's great. But like, I'll crush a million White Claws. I like the White Claws, and especially when
the blue can.
Excuse me.
Blue can will get you. They sneak up on you. You ever go for the hard stuff?
They'll get you. But when I was in Austin, Texas, they had actually peach White Claw, which was the greatest. Like, if you get a chance to try it, peach White Claw, the best. I was driving the rental car. I bought a case of them from my bar, and I was just sitting there, like, just grabbing them from the driver's seat, like from the passenger seat, drinking them. They're unbelievable.
Yeah,
I started smoking too.
Yeah.
In a rental car, you have to smoke and drink. Otherwise, why have it?
Well,
like,
isn't there rules that if it smells like cigarettes, then you're gonna lose a deposit? That's what I always thought.
A little Axe body spray, throw it out, you're good. I always make it a mission to drink and smoke in the rental car, and speed. And in Texas, they don't care. Like, it's the Autobahn, nobody cares.
Really?
I went 200 miles an hour, nobody gave a shit, nobody blinked.
I got pulled over twice in Colorado for going too fast. And it's so hard to drive fast in Colorado because it's all windy and up and down. But there's a lot of places for cops to hide. But it's so fun when you're doing it, when you're going fast, because you're going windy and up and down.
I mean, that's yeah.
And it's a rental car, and you can beat on it. Like, why do you not beat on it?
I always splurge on the rental car, too. Like, when I was in LA, I got a Mustang convertible. I think it's cool to flex on the rental car a little bit.
Really? It's nice. Well, you gotta weigh it. Like, if it's gonna be the matter of like $40,
you can talk them down though too. You can wheel and deal, dude.
Oh yeah,
you can wheel them down.
Especially they can't move the expensive stuff, sometimes. So they're just like, what the hell? At least it's going somewhere,
Like my buddy, I got a buddy who has a Hertz Gold membership.
Oh,
I use. So shout out Dorian.
That's like better than a Netflix membership.
1,000%. Yeah. And then I have another buddy who's like not a big wig, but he's like kind of he works for Enterprise. So I have two places where I can kind of pit them against each other and go, they're giving me $50. This guy, and get free gas from one. And I always wheel and deal, and I make it like a bandit. Yeah.
God damn it. That is a good skill to have, eh?
You have to.
That's how you can get a lot of your, like, if you want to go I just figured this out. If you want to go do a tour, like if you want to you can just ask for free things in lieu of sponsorship, and you can get it. If you can sell it.
Well, if you never ask, the answer is always no, right? Like, I fully credit that to my old man. My dad and I, we did like toys and collectibles when I was young, Hot Wheels, McFarlane action figures, different stuff. Yeah. And we'd go to a toy show, and I was a 5-6-year-old kid, little mushroom haircut, handsome. And we'd go there and I'd want, a Lord of the Rings figure, a Wolverine figure. And I'd be talking to some like creepy 40-year-old guy with action figures. Yeah. He'd be like, I want 3 of them for, $10. He's like, no, I have 20, best I can do. I'd get him down to like 15. And I'd be like, oh, I'm sick. Or I'd go over to my dad, like, Dad, I can get my 3 figures for $15. Okay. Yeah. And he'd be selling, wheeling, dealing, talking to people. Real charismatic guy. And then we'd go over that at the end of the day, and my dad would be like, $10. And he'd get a 4th figure. Like, he'd get an extra figure for $10. And I'd be like, oh my God, you can do that?
That's where you got it from then.
Yeah. And he's just like, dude, if you never ask, the answer is always no. So just go out there and figure it out. Ask, talk to people.
Yeah.
And even like, and he would like,
that's my worst thing. I'm the worst at that.
That's a skill you need, man. And like, we used to collect Hot Wheels. He would know like everyone who worked there. He'd have their coffee orders memorized. He'd be like, oh, how was your kid? Whatever. He was just like the best at that type of stuff. So he always got hooked up that way. And I was like, that's a skill you need in life.
Yeah. It's good to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, my dad taught me how to sneak in places. And that was just act like you belong.
Always.
Yeah. And man, I have done that shit.
It works.
It works like crazy, man. Yeah. I've gotten in places I have no business being.
Yeah.
You can even go on YouTube now and see me on stage with the band Cake in Atlanta at the Shaking East Festival, where I'm blackout drunk. Blackout drunk, wearing a t-shirt that says booze, tobacco, dope, pussy, cars, and I am the only person behind the band with no credentials around my neck.
Yeah.
You can
and you're
see.
Vibing out.
And I'm in the VIP area dancing, and then I decide, this isn't close enough. I'm going to jump over the rail and then go right behind the keyboard player and then film behind his shoulder at the crowd. And then the bouncer, you can see him kind of like, I don't remember this just from watching it back on YouTube. And then the bouncer's like coming out to get me, and then or the security or whatever, and then I go, no, I got it. I'm filming with my camera. And I go, I got it.
Wow.
And the guy stops in his tracks and turns around.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do.
Blackout drunk confidence. And then I took that to Queens of the Stone Age. I only know this from photos of on my camera because like I see a video of me like behind, and then there's like then there all of a sudden you see me watching Queens of the Stone Age from far, and then I'm closer, then I'm right at the stage, and now I am like very far again.
Now
there was one of me
in the background,
with like a big arm coming at me, you know, and then it didn't work as well for Queens of the Stone Age. I just thought you're invincible. Once it works once, you know, you just...
Yeah, I totally, dude. I could tell a million stories. Like in college or whatever, I never waited. I just walked right in. Because are they really going to stop you and cause a scene, or just go, he's somebody?
Yeah.
And like even my dad and I would sneak in like basketball games, like UFC. Actually, I'm a big UFC guy. I was in Vegas for the John Jones fight.
Yeah.
Comeback fight. My buddy lives there. So, and we're trying to get tickets, right? Out front. And obviously the guys start like $1,000 a ticket, whatever. We're like, fuck off, man. So we got him down to like 130 per ticket. So we go in there and we get like the worst seats in the house, whatever. And I'm like, we're going to figure this out. So we keep trying to move around. We keep getting kicked out. Nothing's going our way. I see a door. Looks like a janitor door. Looks like nothing. So I just walk over and with my two buddies, open the door, walk in. It's called the Bud Light Lounge in the in the T-Mobile Arena. There's leather chairs. There's free drinks. There's popcorn. So, and my buddies are being like, they're a little nervous Albanian guys, right? So they're looking around. I'm like, stop looking. Like if you're going to look at the security guard, they're going to know you're not supposed to be here. Like, just don't look at them, man. Act normal. Act like you belong here. Like, just hang out with the big dog. I'll take care of you, you know? So we're walking around, hanging out with people, drinks, popcorn. I'm like, yeah, what'd you get for your ticket to this guy? You know, 10 grand to be in this place. And we're in there for the final 3 or 4 like big fights of the night. Leather recliner. I'm drinking rum and cokes. Like just, you know, it's the best. But it's like, yeah, you just have to act like you're there. Yeah. And you're in. If you're acting all like, leave.
And if you're fun too. A lot of people just want to hang around when you're fun. I'll tell you a cool story that goes along with that. But first of all, we do this thing on our show that people know it started. It's a thing we call the theme song. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Dutch Hall. It is episode 453, I believe. And we are coming to you live from Pine Grove in the greatest podcast ever come out of Pool Shed in the history of the world, bar none. And this week we have a one-on-one interview, which is a rare thing. And I like it. And the reason is because Johnny pussed out because he doesn't feel well. And Kevin works too hard. And Beavers is in the midst of harvest. He is like probably withering away at nothing, eh? We got this guy Beaver. I'll tell you about it later. But anyways, so we're left just with one guest, a virgin guest. And as we said, vouched for by the one and only Joe Botello, which means absolutely nothing on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, before I even introduce myself, I'm going to introduce our guest, Jake Brennan, everyone. Wait. Oh, I don't have the applause. There it is. There we go. There he is. Yeah. And I'm your host and two-time, you're supposed to say two-time.
Two-time.
President's Club Award winner, Pete Van Dyke. That's the appropriate amount of applause. And as we know, every show is a wheel show on season 10, and this one is no exception. But we're not going to take you for a tour of the wheel this week because I didn't do anything with it from last week, so it's the exact same wheel. So, Jake, this is how it works. If we get stuck, where our conversation is not as fluid as it's been, which I don't think is going to be an issue because we have not had a break in conversation since you got here. And I don't see it'll change just because we started the show officially. But if we do, we go to this wheel and then we just have to do what it says.
Cool.
So we're just going to keep this old wheel, and that's the wheel of impressions, I think. So we have to do impressions.
I got a couple bad ones.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got a couple
bad ones are the most fun. When a guy sucks at it. Johnny cannot do impressions at all.
It's like the people, like, you don't want to be good at karaoke. The guy who's good at karaoke, you're like, look at this clown, like, get out of here. You want to be bad at it. It's funny. That's what makes the bit.
Yeah, my niece would always try to do different accents, and then they'd all turn into like a the
she goes 7-Eleven.
Apu.
Yeah.
That would all sound like a poo at the end.
Bring him back, dude. Bring back Apu immediately.
What there's people that talk, as long as there's people that talk like that, that's appropriate.
Yes.
If you, the fact that you can't do a voice of someone that doesn't live the exact same life as you is stupid.
Yeah, it's insane.
Right?
Yeah, it's insane. Especially the actor was the guy Hank Azaria or whatever.
Yeah.
So he makes money playing this character 20 years. I think he won like Emmys and stuff. Like just a total stud, enjoying the role. And then the moment, a couple tweets, a little video, YouTube video, he's like, how dare I do that? I'm so sorry I did that. People's like, well, give them money back then. Yeah. Return all the money then. That made you a millionaire in a household. Return it or shut up. Because in 5 years, when people go, we want him back, guess what? You're going to be back doing it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's all just so disingenuous, man. I think there's actually a comic, Akash Singh, and he named his special, Bring Back Apu. And he just like argued for it. It was pretty funny. Yeah. And he's an Indian guy.
And
shockingly, with the name Akash Singh.
Yeah, it narrows it down. But yeah, they don't like. I was thinking about even native like Aboriginal people. We're not supposed to say Indian, right? Because it's like wrong.
This week,
right?
Next week, if you don't, you're racist. Yeah.
But like in the before there was the term Indian, there was no unifying term for all the different tribes.
I'm sure there was a term.
But like
the Washington football team was actually named after them.
Yeah. But
there's definitely a term.
There was more terms, but it's like
it was a fun one. No.
For the one that they would like get together and like say like we want to like lobby for blank rights.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a word. Like they didn't call themselves Aboriginal or First Nations.
The rumor I heard was Indian was because Columbus messed it up. He thought he was in India.
Yeah.
But it was obviously different people, and he didn't know that.
And then,
I don't know if that's true or not.
That's true. Okay. That's true. And then they ended up calling them that by mistake, but they were really like the Mohawk and the Iroquois and the Cree and the like all these different
Métis.
Yeah.
I know stuff.
And then, so they didn't call themselves one thing. Like they were like, we're not Iroquois. Like we're not, we're not the other thing, right? So they didn't have one referring to all of them. So then they just adopted that one. And then it actually did become a source of pride for them because they had some sort of unifying word to bring them all together, even though it was made by mistake, Yeah. And then white people then all of a sudden, the ones who made it by mistake and then they took it and actually made it a source of pride, and then we told them, no, it's offensive.
Yeah.
And we're like, we just told you it wasn't. And
it never ends. That's why I don't try with this whole language update thing. I'm just gonna say whatever I want. I don't care because it's all timing. Because this week you're bad, next year you're the most woke person in the world. So it doesn't matter.
Also, who the fuck's saying it? Is it like?
Well, look at these people's accounts. They're either bots who aren't real, or they're people that like are very mentally ill. Nobody I respect or would want to talk to has ever tweeted any of this stuff. So once I know that, I'm like, well, then I don't care. Because why would I value I never asked your opinion. Why do I care?
And as for the workplace,
that's a whole different battle. But
but the workplace was ruined by women, and that's clear. Because like before women were in the workplace, I heard stories of this. Because
I've seen Mad Men, dude. I've watched the show. I know what happened.
Yeah, it was awesome, right?
Yeah, it was unreal.
It was the best. And then they came in, and then you couldn't say nothing or do nothing or have any fun.
Fair.
It's fair.
What do you think though? Because like nowadays, it's portrayed as though like every single employee just like ran train on the secretary and like did coke off her tits. Like how much of that was real? Do you think? Was that actually common, or is that just like the couple big wigs did that? No,
I'll tell you right off the bat. Like I was born 1973, right? So that was right around the time when women were kind of entering the workforce, right? For the first time. Before that, you had to be ugly or widowed And then you could be like
I truly believe that hasn't changed, actually. Only ugly girls work jobs. No, truly.
Oh, that's not true.
Truly. Hot girls barely work. They're either realtors, nurses, or OnlyFans. That's the economy we've built.
That is
truly
definitely becoming that for sure.
I want to interrupt though. Sorry.
Yeah. What was I talking about?
You're talking about the 70s when women got in the workforce, and I asked like how rampant it was, like just the Weinstein type people.
Right, and then so like I'm a kid, I always think women should work because my whole life that's the way it was. But before that, like it didn't happen, and then literally, I thought my dad was like misogynistic because he didn't want his wife working. Like I thought it was like
somebody like run the family and have like those like old school nuclear family dynamics that are just gone now.
No, he didn't want fucking Rick from accounting to stick his digits up my mom's ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually a better reason, yeah.
That's what it really was. It's like I don't have a problem with you working as long as you don't have to go get fucking groped by some dude in a cardigan.
Yeah.
And that was because it was that rampant. And I'll tell you, because I started work in the 90s, right?
The greatest decade of all time.
Yeah, it really was. And then I was like in my prime, man. God, I was glorious. Anyways.
Man back then, eh?
Yeah, really. Especially 93.
Roll a clip right now, actually.
93. Go show me a 93. Just, I was gorgeous. Anyway, so it was.
Can we put a pic of you back then? Is there any pics here of you?
Not many.
There's a picture of me, Jake the Snake with the mullet.
Yeah, I don't think I do have any of them in my glory years. It's just legendary at this point. Yeah. So, anyways, what was I saying? I go.
You started working or something?
Yeah, the nights I started working, and when I went to the workforce, all these people that were like my parents' age, when we would go to a conference or whatever, they were all trying to fuck each other, like
an elderly person home almost, like a retirement home. There's taking Viagra and banging. So
but I'm like,
they do that.
I'm like in my 20s, right? Early 20s.
You're not against taking down a cougar though.
And my parents would have been like my age now.
Yeah.
Right. So it'd be like people who are like my age now, fucking right, which you're still attractive enough.
But I think somebody who's 50 in the 90s versus a 50-year-old now are very different things.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyways, everyone was fucking, right? And a lot of people were, and it was just a culture of that. Like there would be like the old managers, you could see them creeping on the young, new hired secretaries and stuff. Yeah, like
excellent.
And they've always like got a kid that's scattered like in a different province of it, because they kept every time they like would, they would just keep fucking around, and then their marriages would collapse, and then they, you know what I mean? Like it was
sounds like a pretty funny era. Friend's sick.
And so like but like we were the children of those people who are getting tried to fuck all the time at work, right?
But you guys you still pulled that off back then, no? Like if you wanted to, or no?
We ruined it.
Oh, really?
It was my generation that made them stop trying to bang everybody come moms. Like those were our moms. Like we saw our moms come home crying.
I'll see that video.
Yeah. And so like we were the ones that were like saying this isn't cool. Like before that, it was just like it wasn't people's moms. It was just like a bunch of other chicks coming in, and then it became like your mom. Like you're the reason that my parents are divorced. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the first time. So we said it wasn't cool. The Gen Xers were like, nah, I don't think we should fuck at work anymore.
There's something magical and beautiful about imagining, a work conference in 1992. A bunch of people showing up to a Best Western, here to learn something. Nobody cares. And you're just drinking, you're fooling around, you're having fun. Hey, come back to our hotel. We're having a party. Like just that. No cell phones. You're just in the moment. You're living. You're doing it. You're having a good time. That is something that will never get back.
Yeah.
And that's like, what a magical time. I don't know. That just sounds like so amazing to me. Like it doesn't because it doesn't even exist anymore. It's like, we'll do a Zoom call and nobody cares.
You know what they did one time for me and people like me at my work? They knew that I ruined or not me personally, but me and my friends ruined their reputation at the hotel, that they weren't allowed there anymore, like this big company I worked for.
Check.
And so the next year, what they did to address it was they booked us our own hospitality room after hours so that we could be contained to make a
like
noise.
A legal bar that you guys should just run, kind of.
Yeah. Oh, no. It was the same trip. So it was like the first night we ruined it. And then the second night, they got us our own room to make sure it didn't happen again, right?
Wow.
And it was great. One time we stole a golf cart because some guy had like a master key or something at this resort. And then the security is trying to find us, but we were like hiding from him in the bushes. We had the cart hidden in the bushes. And this... we had to do some skit or something. Like it was like some bullshit they make you do at corporate.
Some team bonding nonsense. Yeah.
So the one guy, he's got to do like a Village People thing. So he's wearing a fucking construction helmet with a big flashing light on the top. And we're trying to hide from we're wondering why this guy keeps finding us. Well, because the guy's got a flashing light. We finally look behind us. Like, are you wearing that thing?
You're the rat.
You idiot. Anyways, he was our man. He got promoted to being our manager.
He runs the company.
He runs the company.
That's the problem is like nowadays that would just become like, you'd become Logan Paul. Like that's just, you have to monetize it. You'd be shooting a vlog. Look at our prank. We're to go. Like, and that's not fun.
No.
The fun was back then is like, we might get in real trouble here. Like we're just going to have a good time and nobody cares. And we'll giggle about this for years. Now it's like, I have the footage, dude. And like, I'll release unless you send me $100,000. Like it's just a nightmare nowadays. Like it's not, that fun is just.
Yeah, it should be just for the sake of doing something stupid is the reason you're doing it. No footage, no nothing. Just, you know what I think is hilarious? I had this buddy. He was like one of the funniest guys I ever knew. Real creative dude, you know? I think he's a carpenter or something out west, but...
Jesus Christ? No.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He had the same hair.
Oh, wow.
So, but this guy, Pete, he was like a super funny guy, and he would do these things where he'd go on a city bus and he'd pretend he was talking to like his imaginary friend or whatever, but no one was filming it.
Yeah, this wasn't a TikTok sketch.
No.
Yeah, this is just funny.
One time him and his buddies were sitting around, they wrote a bunch of country songs, and then he went to this like open mic at like, it was in Whistler, and he called himself a Tex Walker and the Rangers. And the first thing he says, he goes, "It's nice to be back here in BC or in Alberta." He goes, "It's nice to be back here in Alberta. Just came back from BC." They're in Whistler, so they're in BC. And he goes, "Nothing but a bunch of hippies and faggots there." He's like, says, and then the crowd's like booing him, you know, like, of course. And then he goes, "I didn't know."
He's a wrestling heel.
Yeah. And then finally, like the crowd's like all turned against him, except for one old guy in the front row who loves the music because it's catchy country music, right? And he ends up like getting him in a headlock, and he's like drinking what do you call it? A pound and a beer, like he's
shotgunning.
Shotgunning a beer, and he's like got this old man in a headlock, and he roughs him up with so much, like kind of dancing. That the old man finally gets mad, and now he's got the whole place mad at him. He's like super happy, and then like he has to get an escort out of the place, like in the back and stuff. And like people would see him around and kind of get the joke. Like he was even, it was on July 1st, and he's like, "I didn't know you Canadians celebrated the 4th of July." He was a troll
before the trolls.
Yeah, there was no internet, you know, and
he was just doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah,
the love of the troll game.
Yeah, and apparently he made up a character after that called Mick Lizard. And he was like a punk rock guy, and he would just spit on the audience and stuff. Again, just trying to like Andy Kaufman-esque, you know. Yeah. But no recording is my point. Just for the sake of the art.
Love of the game, dude.
Yeah,
That's gone.
I know. People don't think there's any use to it, but I'll tell you, the best moments are still the ones that you don't record. Tell the story of. I'll tell you this. There was a listener of our show who sent me a message. I don't know how much I can even say of this.
Tell me their full name and address right now.
But they basically said that they were doing something for the police. And the long story short was, I'm pretty sure the police, they were trying to show the effects of booze. So they were going to get me drunk, you know? And then I said, that sounds fun, right? And then he says, you can't tell it on your podcast.
Yeah.
And
well, why did you email me?
And then I'm like, but then why would I do it? You know, like it's not fun. And that
this sounds very Alex Jonesy. Like this is gonna be like you woke up in like Area 51 or something.
No,
I think this should get weird. Like this should get weird real quick.
Would you do something like if they said you can't talk about it in stand up, or like you can't? Like, would you? Why have the experience then? Like, that's what I want to do with it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like stand up is great as like a outlet to tell those crazy stories. But like when I was in university, for example, all the boys, like me and the pals, me and the homies, as they call it, stupid. We our saying was just like for the bit. So everything we did was for the bit. So if it was like, hey, make a right choice, go home, call it night, or like do something nuts for the bit, we all knew like, oh, we have to do it. And we didn't really film this like a little bit, but we didn't really like, we just did it for the bit. And that was like very pure. And like still some of the funniest memories we'll still laugh about and we'll giggle about at like their wedding or whatever, you know, like those are great bits. Once you get into the comedy game though, and everything is like, how can I use this for a story or a bit or something, like it'd be tough to do that because you know some weird shit's gonna go down, and then you have to just like not like you're gonna talk about it. You're gonna talk about it.
I am gonna do it.
You couldn't stop yourself.
He said he would have to get me to sign a non-disclosure agreement. I would break it. I would have to 100%. Be taken to court because I couldn't keep a good story secret.
No.
What's the point of it?
But also, I think this guy, like when I first heard that, my kind of antenna went up. Like, this is a gay thing. Ultimately, this has nothing to do with the cops. It's going to be him in like a cop outfit. You're getting tied up, and he's going to Pulp Fiction you.
It's too good to be true.
You're waking up with a sore anus. Like, you're
all right.
Yeah,
I got one for
right now. Yeah,
I got one for you. This is another one. I do get scammed occasionally because I'm an idiot, right?
Well, you believe. I feel like you. I don't know you well, but I feel like you believe in people a little bit.
I do. Yeah. And so. Anyways, I bought a bunch of T-shirts and stuff online.
Okay.
Right?
Were you going to strike a T-shirt business or?
No.
Randomly?
I just wanted to buy, like, I bought some for my daughter. It was a good sale, like, you know? So I'm like, I'll buy this Red Fox T-shirt, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like,
classic.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to visit, you know, like that sort of stuff. I got these T-shirts coming. So I get I'm tracking my package and it comes in my mailbox, right? So I go to my mailbox. What do I get? Not my T-shirts, but a diamond ring. A diamond ring, eh?
Wow.
That one is in the mic. Sorry, Laurie.
Nice.
Laurie doesn't like that. Anyway, so a diamond ring, right? So I email him and I said, I didn't get my T-shirts, but I got this diamond ring, which I should actually got at a price, see if it was real. Because if it was like...
Imagine.
Yeah, then it was worth more than the T-shirts. And then someone said, what if it's a test, you know? And then you don't care about tests. You're going to go to hell, right?
I don't believe in
because you don't.
The moral thing is nonsense to me.
What's that?
If somebody sends me a diamond ring, I ordered shirts, and it's a diamond ring, and it's worth $100,000, let's say.
Yeah,
I'm still going to keep you the money. I'm not trying out for Men in Black, dude. I'm not going to return it and play your game. It's a test. I don't care. My bank account cares. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Thanks for the money. Screw off. Oh, you owe us money, whatever. Yeah, talk to my African cousin and get him to send you money. I don't care.
Right. So you think like I'm doing this real honest thing by telling him I got
stupid.
Honesty, well, I thought if someone bought the ring,
okay,
right?
But it's from the same company or no?
I don't know who it says my name. They thought they sent me. All I said is I didn't get my package like it said I got my package, but I did get this other package.
I'm very intrigued by where the story goes. I'm very intrigued by where this goes.
Right. And I said, but I did get this other package and it was a diamond ring, you know? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, in the off chance that someone is like waiting for this as their engagement ring or something, you know, and they sent them my T-shirts and I got their ring.
And this is really an Impractical Jokers episode or something?
No, it was just like a clerical mistake in like China, wherever. Yeah. So I send them an email and the response back is, no. We meant to send you that as a gift, right? That's yours. Don't worry about it. Like you keep that. We just want to make sure your address was correct.
Oh.
And so now we're going to send you the T-shirts. They'll be there in 3 days and no cost to you. Are you willing to still go ahead with this?
Is this like how you end up like in the Hells Angels or something? Is this like...
I don't know. I'm just wondering how I'm going to get fucked on this deal because it seems like so fishy as fuck. And I don't know how they're going to get me on it. Like they go, are you willing to sign for it? And I'm like, I think so. Like,
no. Did you Google the scam and see if it was like a common thing?
Diamond ring?
Well, just Google because I had a buddy myself where no, this was a buddy's story, but he was going on Leo List quite a bit. All right, if you know what that website is, it's where you can get ladies of the night. All right.
Oh,
yeah. So he was a realtor, great guy. Enjoying a lot of supplements, and he would go on Leo List late at night when he was like banged up and like get escorts, right?
Yeah.
So one of the times it was like a scam thing, and then they started sending him pictures of them with like guns and machetes and like, we know where you live, we're going to kill you unless you send us X amount of money and all this stuff, right? And he was kind of nervous. He's like, fuck, like, I don't know, are they, like, do they actually know and stuff? And I was like, dude, just Google it, see if this is real or not. It was like the scam they were running for years, and it was totally BS.
Oh, yeah.
So we sent them back a picture of like, I don't even want to say it, but we sent them back a funny photo, and then and they never bugged us again.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. So I don't interrupt, but how does the story end? Where does this go?
I'm waiting for
it. This is a live event.
Yeah, it's a live event. We don't know how it's going to end.
They're going to kick the door and shoot us in the head. This is how it ends. You brought me on here to be your security guard. You're going to kill us.
No, in 3 days, they say I will get these T-shirts, but I don't know.
The ring.
I have it in my house.
Grab it.
What do you mean?
Let's check it out. Grab it. Let's take a
grab the. Do you want to look at the ring?
I'll wear it right now, dude. I don't care.
All right, I'll show it to you.
On.
All right, hold on.
All right. This entire evening is just a rose, and I'm part of the ring brigade. And I came on this podcast to get the ring back and inflict maximum damage. So be ready. Unreal.
It's not really it's not really a diamond ring. It's just a diamond. Because it's just a sizing band that's on it, but it's they give you like a card you can scan.
Think it's like poisonous, maybe, or
like a little anthrax ring. Yeah,
that's why I snipped it there just to see. So we'll find out.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. I said on the pod, if anyone was listening, I said, I'm part of the brigade. This whole thing is a rose. I came here just for that.
Yeah, just for this ring.
Yeah, I was really the mastermind behind it.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth shit.
No, it's probably just a Chinese bullshit thing. They probably send you that because then they want to get you on some sort of subscription or like a prepaid credit card thing.
Yeah, I just say
that's what it is.
As long as there's no. Oh, it is a real ring. There's actually shit on the sides and stuff.
Are you going to take it to a jeweler or just return it? I'd get it checked for sure.
No, I'm going to bring it to a jeweler now and just say, can you check to see if this is real or fake?
You should film that.
Yeah.
How we just talked about living for the moment. You got to film that, dude.
Nah, I'm not filming nothing.
No, that's a wild thing though.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, and I just keep getting scammed. Like because I'm an idiot.
You get scammed by like Facebook and Instagram ads and shit or no? Like, hey, we'll give you an iPhone for 99 cents. Like, you're not that guy.
No.
Okay.
No. One time I didn't accept an e-transfer fast enough, and then the guy canceled it on me.
Yeah.
And then I was he already had the thing I sold him, you know? That one I got fucked on.
I had one thing, I forget what it was. It might have been a job or it might have been something, but they sent me a check for like $100 or something. And I opened it, I never cashed it because it was something sketchy and I just threw it out.
Yeah.
I think it was like, hey, we'll just give you like a bonus to start with us, but I think it was like a pyramid scheme type thing.
Yeah.
And I think if I would have accepted it, then I don't know, something weird. I just had a weird feeling about it.
Yeah.
So I threw it out.
Yeah. I used to. Where do you live in Brantford?
Brantford, yeah.
And
Old West Brant.
Old West Brant.
Yeah.
Like down.
I live in like the nicest house in the ghetto. Like it's a newer house.
Yeah. By that like ice cream place.
Do you know where Sammy's is?
Is that an ice cream place?
No, it's a burger. Like it's like the best wing like burger spot in town. Sammy's Rec Room.
No.
Kind of by Assumption College, kind of the high school.
Yeah, you know where like Maria's Fish and Chips is, like there.
Yes.
And like that in that area.
Yeah, there's put a Dairy Queen down there.
Yeah. What's that? What is that ice cream place?
OMG Ice Cream was the main spot.
Oh, okay.
And then they decided a Dairy Queen. They put a grocery, they put a Domino's. Like they've ruined it. Yeah.
Oh, the Coward's Pharmacy. Is that there? That's where I bought my first pack of condoms.
I don't think they're
Ramsey's Extra Strong. It used to be.
Why do you wear condoms, dude? That's pathetic.
Oh, Extra Strong. I wore like 2 of them.
Did you wear condoms your whole like stickman career?
Oh, dude, I wore condoms for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I was done.
Such a waste of time.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something. I will never, ever wear one again.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And no matter what happens with
This is kind of embarrassing. When I lost my virginity, it was to a lady who I think I already fooled around with a gentleman or two. And I was very nervous. I was like, oh, maybe she has AIDS or something. I don't know. I was like,
yeah, that's what they make you
So I wore 2 condoms, dude, the first time.
Yeah.
Still came in 5 seconds. Killed it though. And and then I was like, yeah, I don't think that's the way to do it, you know? Yeah. So the next time I wore 3. No, I wore 1. And then within like a year or 2 of just kind of, clapping cheeks, I realized it's a waste of time and I stopped doing it. Because here's the thing. this is a great rule, and this is something that everybody at home, like, clip this. You should live by this rule. I'll try to be as, unvulgar as possible, right?
Okay.
But if you're with a woman, right?
Yeah.
And you're naked, you're having a good time. If you wouldn't eat it because it stinks, then don't fuck it.
Yeah.
Pretty simple rules, right? Now, did I break those rules at certain times? I have. Did I pay for it? Yeah. Yeah.
That's usually where you get something.
So yeah, if you follow those rules and then you piss directly after intercourse, you're good, man. And that's how it works.
The pee kills it all?
The pee kills it all, but also, again, if it's a smelly box, leave. You don't have to pump it. No, I didn't know this back in the day. So I'd have it and she'd be like, oh, my pH balance. I'd be like, okay, I guess. Like, you tell me anything, I believe it. And then I would catch a thing called chlamydia, right? And then you have to take 4 pills, spend a weekend off, then you're back to it, nothing matters.
Do they put a Q-tip in your pee hole?
No, that's all nonsense. You have an Indian guy dangle you a little bit, fool with your balls, and then, no. That did happen, though.
Yeah.
I had a thing on my ball. I wasn't sure. I was nervous, like maybe a ball cancer scare. And my doctor, actually, she's in Waterford down there.
Yeah.
So, and like, she gave birth to me and everything. And
she gave birth to you?
I came out of her, but she's my mom.
Yeah.
But no, she like birthed me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want her, like, seeing my piece. Because in my head, I'm like, what if she sees my piece and she's like, it hasn't grown? Like, what if she's like, this guy had the biggest baby dick in the world. Now,
what's her name?
Can we say it? We'll censor it on it.
Well, write it down.
Okay.
Write it down. Yeah, but write it down right now. Yeah, because I want to know.
I don't want to, like,
Yeah. I just want to know who it is.
It's a woman.
Yeah. It might be the same one. Oh, no. I can tell you right now, it's too long. Oh, no.
No.
I've never seen. That doesn't even have any vowels in it. There's 2 4s.
It's a white lady.
Name.
It's an older white woman. Yeah.
Why is there 2 4s in her last name?
It's a B and a T.
That's a B and a T?
I don't write anything, dude. I'm a typer, dude. I'm a typer.
Oh, man. Oh, is that real? Can you do cursive?
I won an award in 3rd grade for like best cursive. And then I remember I was trying to get into skateboarding back then for some reason. And everybody at like West 49, like they couldn't really write well. So I was like, oh, like writing cool is gay. So I started like writing bad purposely. And then we got into typing and I was always really good at typing, like, a trillion words a minute. And I haven't physically wrote something in like decades. Like I don't even write notes. Everything's on my memo pad, Google Docs. Like I literally physically don't write. Except my signature.
Yeah. I wish I was more like that, like more fluent like that, but I'm not. My fingers are too fat and I screw up a lot. I'm more tactile.
Very, very, I'm kind of ambidextrous too, so I can really go.
I can't even feel my fingers,
What'd you do to them?
They've been like that forever.
Poor circulation.
No, I don't know. I can pick up hot things out of the oven without a mitt.
That's cool. That's a flex. It's a flex. But no,
also, I don't get bruised. If you punch me real hard,
I just come over here.
Yeah, it'll hurt like a bruise, but it won't make a bruise.
Like very easily. Very
and then you have piano hands.
Yeah.
And they look soft.
They're very soft. I'm a gentleman. I'm a gentle lover, but I have calluses here though.
From lifting?
Yeah, dude.
Have you done hard labor?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I kind of like with my dad, like taking down a shed or painting or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like car stuff, but not like consistently. No.
Yeah, like not for a job.
Like just enough where I can like do it. Like if we get a car tire pops and I have to do it, I can do it.
Right.
But nothing like not a physical day job like that.
So you can do real man stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
I can do an oil change, like stuff like that.
Right. Which is, I think Brantford will give you like still.
I think it's totally just my dad. There's a lot of soft people.
In Brantford even?
Yeah.
It's spread that far?
I think it's soft people, but there's also just a lot of non-white people. So,
And they're softer?
I don't know.
I don't know. I just know that a lot of white people are pretty damn soft. I was in Toronto visiting my daughter, and we're in Kensington Market, and there's these 2 white people. One of them is a border, like kind of homelessy looking, like to be. And then the other one is more hipster with a backpack. And the 2 of them are having a brouhaha, real angry. There's a commotion, a big crowd right in front of my daughter's apartment. At one point, they fall to the ground on top of each other. Then they get up. Then the crowd's all like going crazy for them to stop. And they square off against each other. So now they have a bit of space.
Yeah.
And so now they're going to, one of them has to throw punches. And both of them are like it's a pretty tense situation at this point in time. Like I am like
how far are you? Like where?
Real close. Like I'm like within a block. Like within not even like I'm across. I'm like kind of like the equivalent across the road.
Okay.
And so like there's a crowd around there, and everyone's pretty tense. We don't know if it's going to spread our way. We're looking for exit, And then these two guys are such pussies. They won't.
They did the hold me back, bro thing, and nobody was holding either.
Like the one guy honestly was like throwing like this, like he was like throwing like this, but you could tell he didn't want to get close enough to get hit.
Yeah.
And the other guy was just so terrified of that punch. And as soon as I saw the guy throw this overhand,
that's gay.
like really fruity looking throw.
If they would have literally made sweet love there, that would have been less gay than that punch.
I started laughing and saying I can kick both these guys' asses.
Yeah.
And it became clear that no matter how intimidating they look, I would crush them just because I wouldn't be afraid to get punched in the face 3 times to get at them.
Now, see, in Toronto, one time I said a comment to a guy out of school. I was in the wrong here. And then he went to his car and got a gun. All right.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, this was a true story. And luckily, we were out front of bars. A bunch of cops grabbed him and stuff, but there was a gun pointed at me. All right. So at that point, I'm a pretty fast guy. I'm pretty athletic. I can kick. I have really good kicks. I don't know if you see my kicks.
Yeah, I did see your kicks.
Yeah, John Jones been real quiet since I started doing those kicks. That's all I'm going to say. But when a gun gets involved, it's tough to be a tough guy.
Yeah.
But also not, because I'm tougher than you if you have to pull a gun, right?
Yeah, right.
Like I'm the tough guy here. You're the pussy because you have a gun, right?
Yeah, but you'd still be dead and
I
tough.
could dodge it maybe, or ninja blade. No,
it'd still be hard to kill.
How cool would it be though to get a flesh wound, like straight up? If he shot me and I just on the arm, I got like to be like I'm 50 Cent now. That would be a flex. And I took a bullet, dude. Like that'd be cool.
I would love it if it happened as part of my set. I get shot.
It'd be so cool, dude.
Yeah,
flex back. I take a bullet and I'm still here for you guys tonight. And they're like, yeah.
Like Mace Scaloni got punched in the face one time, and he's still.
Is this pre or post Will Smith?
Oh, way
before. Okay.
Yeah, and he's still riding the reputation that brought him.
Jim Jeffries got famous from that. Really? Did you ever see that?
Yeah. And then that's what I mean. Like, in order to get Mace doesn't tell offensive jokes. He tells well-crafted, like well-written jokes, and I don't know how anyone could be mad at him. But anyways,
it's tough when I'm on stage. People that don't know comedy, right? They all go like, "Oh, like, are you afraid of this?" I'm like, dude, I think the people are afraid of me when I get on stage, and I have to take a minute or two to disarm them and have fun because they're like, "This guy looks like a pro wrestler or something." He doesn't.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about like someone in the audience like. What are they going to do?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you that because I remember doing this one show in London and they were like, they loved to heckle. It was like one of these rooms where it was the whole, there were a lot of regulars, that didn't really, they just wanted to have fun with us, I
did a couple of shows like that were illegal bar shows in Brantford during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, but they were real awful, but it was like clear, like, Charlie Shazma?
Yes. Yeah.
So Shazma goes up and it's like, some old man, like, you suck, get off this, like just those
He's
classics. Yeah. And then I would go up, nothing. Then there would be another small guy.
So they were bullies essentially.
Yeah, they're just bullies, Yeah. And I'm like anyone that would really like kick their look like they could kick their ass. Yeah. They didn't have anything to say.
That's how it always goes.
And so I was like, you probably don't have to deal with like I don't really have to deal with it because I'm so unapproachable looking.
I think I'm approachable looking, but I think I have like, again, this is gonna sound so douchey and flex, but I feel like when I walk in, people are like, oh, what do you have to say? Like I'm like, it's like a leader thing. Like I just walk in because I'm bigger, because how I look. People are like, oh, what are we gonna do here? And I'm like, okay, we're gonna do comedy, we're gonna have fun. But if I was like, we're gonna learn about World War II history, like I feel like I could like lead or teach very well. So I feel like in comedy, probably when you first see me, you're like, oh, is this guy like a tough, like whatever guy? And I'm not that at all. I'm like a silly goose, but it's like, I always feel like I get their attention a lot easier than most comics. Like people go up there and I feel like a lot of times there's people talking in the bath, they're not paying attention, where like when I go up, I feel like right away I like command the room a little bit, where they're like, oh, what do you have to say? And I have them.
You're a commanding presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big.
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. That is a nice thing to have.
But there's pros and cons being like, I'm definitely not a prototypical comic or how I look or how I talk or even how I dress or like stuff I do, but I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. I think it's almost like comedians, if you look at us as like superheroes, we all, there's Superman, but there's also, Iron Man. There's all these different people, Spider-Man, whatever. It's like, you have to figure out your kind of niche.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people don't put much time into that. And they're too like, oh, I gotta get the jokes, man. It's like, the crowd doesn't give a shit about the jokes.
Yeah,
They're not going to remember a joke, dude. They remember how they felt, how you made them feel, the feeling of the night and the entertainment of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And most comics, they're like, what are you talking about? It's like, we're not doing anything different than WWE, man. We're putting on a show.
Yes, exactly.
Now, obviously, be a real comic, write some jokes, have a story, have a structure in your head, write this out, like work on it.
Yeah, but be there in the room.
Yeah, you have to. It's entertainment. And all these people are the least entertaining people around. They've done the same 5 minutes for 5 years or longer. And it's like, you're wasting everyone's time, dude. Like, to me, that's like, get out of here. I think I write stuff and try to do bits like too fast. Like, once I have a bit working, I get bored of it. I'm done with like a month or two. I drop it.
Yeah,
which is not good. Like, I think you should keep stuff longer. But to me, it's so much fun of like, I have an idea or I'm talking to somebody. Oh, that's great. And then like working that out. Once I figure it out after I do it a couple times,
yeah.
it's more fun out there. Like, not like, I don't know if this is working. I'll try this. Like, that to me is more fun.
Yeah,
obviously, certain shows you should kind of do the greatest hits, I think, and do the stuff is going to be better.
Yeah.
But the fun of it to me is like, we're jumping out of a plane here with no parachute.
Yeah.
If we're doing it on a green screen, who cares, Yeah.
It is more fun when you got a new joke and you really want to try it out, or you haven't figured out how to make it work yet, and you got to keep trying to figure it out till it works.
I'm also new in the game, so every set I'm doing, like I've only been doing comedy like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So everything I'm doing is like, I always write notes after each set and I look at them because I think, how cool in 10 years to look at this and have like all the lessons of like seeing like, oh, you did this, like, oh, this guy screwed me over, I learned this lesson or this, like, those are cool moments. Yeah. And a lot of people I think don't do that. But after every show, I'm like, okay, what did I learn here? What worked? What didn't? And like, I think that's just
that makes you better way faster.
Yeah.
Because I always had to drive far to every gig. I always had it in my mind, like, what am I trying to accomplish with this? Like, so
you run the sets in your head too, and you're driving there and try to.
I was more like sometimes, but sometimes just try to clear my head. Now it's more about clearing my head. I don't want to think about my jokes. And I've started in the last 2 years saying I have to be present before I start telling jokes. So I have 100%. To comment about what I see in the room and what's going on that night as part of the show. And then I can tell my fucking jokes. Yep. And then, and that works a lot better. And then, also, like, I don't get sick of my jokes as long as I can keep working on them. So if I think of a new part or a new way to say something, then that's
the best feeling. Like, literally last night I was doing the Comedy Bar show and I have this bit about my Asian tailor and a Costco black card and all that. Like, it's a whole long thing, but I thought of a tag where I go, yeah, she trained me in martial arts. I was like a Ninja Turtle or whatever. And just that got like the biggest pop. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Just the timing of like going from this to that. I just thought of it on stage. Best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't even know. How did I come up with that? Like, that was just like perfect there,
Yeah.
And that's the most exciting thing.
Yeah, those are the best.
I barely remember. I just remember that one moment, like, oh, you nailed it. You're like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's the game of it.
Yeah, I had a joke I've probably been telling for 5 years, and then I told it at Levity, and
you actually get spots there. Good for you. No,
1 in 6 months.
Nice. I usually get one every month or two.
All right. I'm an out of towner, so but they gave me this spot, and then I was headlining.
Oh, nice. Amateur night or a weekend?
Amateur night.
All right. Fair enough.
No, it was amateur night, but I
Which
was
is their best night, truly.
So
Wednesdays are great there.
Kind of, yeah. And then if I'm playing with so I was playing with some of my jokes, and I remember, like, a lot of times when I do this one joke, I ask people in the audience, like, what does your parent call your penis or whatever?
Yeah.
And a lot of times a common answer is, I don't remember, right? And then so this time I just played with it enough where I think
penis or the bit?
Yeah, I played with his penis until he came, and then he enjoyed the show. No, he said he didn't remember, and I'm like, oh, you blacked it out. You probably should black out anything your mother calls your penis, that sort of thing. And then that got a reaction, but it was just like off the cuff, and then I'm like, that might work, like I might just keep it,
Yeah. I had a similar one at Levity too, man. I do this bit about black girls being obsessed with me and stuff. And it was,
I do quite well.
Yeah, the black queens out there love the kid, all right? Shout out. There's none of them watching this, but
do you have a high Joe Carter pincushion ass too? Is that what they like about you?
Whoa,
that's what I have. That's why they like me.
That. I've never heard that phrase again. What was that?
Oh, the high Joe Carter pincushion ass. Do you know who Joe Carter is?
The Jays, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. He had a big high ass on him.
I have a
Joe Carter, like a pincushion ass.
I think it's
the black eye ass, Bill Cosby ass.
Oh wow. No, I think what it is like it's almost like I feel like I would be like the rebellious guy to hook up with in their culture, and they're like, oh, like the big white guy with a mullet. Like, and then I obviously I know basketball, I know sports and shit. So it's like I actually like black people love me, and I love the blacks. I become Trump right now, but no, but the black girls have always loved me. Always have had a liking for me. Black girls and blondes and Asians. I think those are the big three for me.
Oh, really?
Never fooled around with a Latina chick. Always wanted to, never have. The Indians or brown people, just they kind of stick to their own a little bit. I find.
Oh, yeah.
The Asians are fun, but like I was fooling around with this foreign exchange student back in the day. Didn't speak a lick of English, right? It was great. And every summer she'd come and hang out. I'd be like, oh, your English is getting better. And she's like, suck cock. And I'd be like, yeah. And that was the extent of her. I don't even know her name. It was some made up Vietnamese name.
Really?
Yeah. And it was great. Because here's the thing. Language is just arguing. Speaking the same language, we're just going to argue. If we don't speak the same language, we're having a great time. We have nothing to argue about, nothing to bitch about.
Yeah.
So I literally had some of the best nights of her just hanging out, and it was great.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. We never argued, never nothing. And I don't know where she's from. I don't know her. I don't know anything about this person. Tremendous spot in my heart.
Well, growing up on a tobacco farm, we had offshore laborers.
Like Jamaicans and shit, right?
Yeah, if we had Jamaicans for a few years, and then we had Mexican guys.
Who were cooler?
Well, cooler.
Like who is like more of a like you'd want to be around these guys drinking beer, like laughing? The black guys or the Mexican guys?
That's a tough one because I was like 14 when and the Jamaican guys lived right in our house because we didn't have a bunkhouse yet. And so like I spent a lot of time with those guys and like at a formal age,
Yeah.
So, but then the Mexican guys are great guys, like they're essentially, I would say, indecipherable as dudes, like as hangs.
Yeah.
But the Mexicans were way better people. Like
Mexicans don't like when I was in Austin, I haven't spent a lot of time around the Mexicans, but they live in their own world and they're unbothered by the BS of like culture. Like they're just having fun. They're eating. Like I went to some Mexican restaurant. The lady's like, oh, it was some older lady. She's like, hola. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Ever hola. And she's like, are you like for here to go? And I was like, yeah, I'll eat here and hang out. And she was thrilled. She was like, oh my gosh, you're gonna like hang out with us. There's all these Mexican kids running around. She's bringing me extra plates. Like they're just happy as they're.
Yeah.
They have like love in their heart. They're like, there's a broken down Dodge Ram with 20 of them going to work, and they're the happiest people on the fucking planet because they don't let the bullshit affect like they're just living and they're happy. We're eating, we're having a good time, and their heart's filled with love. They're the best.
That's why in LA, I was the only people I ever related to were the Mexican people in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because
you lived in LA for a bit?
Yeah, the March.
Okay.
And then a week in February. But
sick.
The only ones
doing spots and stuff.
Yeah. It's a long story.
Sounds like you're thrilled there too.
Yeah, well, it's a long story. Yeah. But
tell all of it right now.
Yeah, it was fine. But like because LA is like I didn't like the people like
snobbery
that much.
Of it.
The snobbery of it. And the fact that every show is run by like white women with their arms crossed, that's how it seemed to me.
Let them do comedy out there. No,
it's just like before they hear me say a word,
they're already like, I don't like this guy.
They already were. I don't like this guy because they were just assuming I'm going to be some. I've
been very fortunate to knock on wood, not really encounter that. Even when I was in LA, my first night, this is such a flex, but seriously it is. My first night I pulled up, I don't know if the prologue of the program here, I had the Mustang convertible. So I'm going around Sunset. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Right? It was a little too cold to have the hood down, but I was like, I'm doing it. So I just driving top off, mullet flowing. It's like, this is so cool. And I pulled into the Comedy Store, which I've been wanting to go to forever. It's like the coolest, I went to Gold's Gym in the day, got a workout, and you're like, this is cool. And at night, it's like the Comedy Store, right? So I pull up there and I'm like, I know in the back they have parking for comics, right? So I'm like, okay, Jake, like, are you gonna try to pull this off? I'm like, for sure. So I pull up and there's a couple like just door guys, like valet guys. They're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, hey, Jake Brennan. I'm a huge comic in Canada. They're like, okay, no problem. Handed my keys. They parked it out back, like with the pros.
Oh, really?
So I get out, there's like Jeff Ross is there. Neil Brennan's there. It's like, this is nuts, right? Like I'm losing it inside. So I get in there, I'm walking around. Mark Maron's like ripping a dart. I'm like, hey, Mark, whatever, give him a fist bump. He was cool. I expected him to like be mean or whatever. He was like a nice guy. And then I'm walking around, like they have 3 rooms at the store. In the hallway, Neil Brennan's talking to John Legend and his wife. Like, it's just like you're like, what's happening here, right? So in the main room, they had, what was Eddie Murphy's boy? Arsenio Hall. Yeah. First time he's performed the Comedy Store in like 30 years, he comes out and people are just losing it, right? And he's telling stories and just crushing. Mark Maron, David Tell was there with his flip phone. You're like, this is like, not like, this is what you'd imagine the Comedy Store would be, right? Yeah. And you're spending $25 on drinks or whatever. And then I didn't know there's a belly room was upstairs. So I kind of see some stairs. I'm like, oh, walk up there, wander up there. So I'm there, smaller room, and they're about to start a show. This guy, Johnny Mitchell, shout out Johnny Mitchell. He has a show. He used to sell, like, he used to be a drug dealer, right? Yeah. Really funny guy. He was just on Andrew Schultz's pod, Flagrant, like talking about when he used to deal and went to jail and stuff. So, and he's like 6'7". So I see him and like we have the right away, the tall guy, like, hey, what's up? Like, we're both tall white guys, trying to do comedy. Like, hey, what's up, brother? So we start talking. He was running this show. So I'm like, hey, any chance I can jump on, right? He's like, we're booked with somebody bails, maybe, which means, you're never getting on. Yeah. So I sit there, I'm hanging on, I meet this other guy, Faiza. Meet a bunch of comics. Ali McCoskey was there, actually. Oh, yeah. She's Joe Rogan's opener, pretty funny lady. And she comes up to me and like, I'm just sitting there. She comes up and she goes, you're stunning. And I'm like, oh, like I'm inside, I'm so nervous and going crazy. I'm at the store, like hanging out, like I belong there. It's like, I have no right to be here, but you're just, okay, roll with it, right? So I'm like, he comes up, he's like, hey, somebody build, do you want to go on and do 10? I'm like, inside, I'm like screaming. I just go, yeah, all right, I can do that. Yeah. I'm terrified. I'm like, oh my God. So then I go up, I do 10 in the belly room. Good set. Did like well, funny, went well. Didn't like crush or kill, just good. It was a good set. Yeah. And I got off, I was like, who can say their first night in Los Angeles within 6 hours of being in the city? Yeah. Comedy Store, thank you very much. And then we're out back and Jeff Ross is like eating pizza with the young comics, giving us advice and stuff. Like, it just doesn't even make sense there, dude. Like it's a crazy place. And I was like, you can feel like that's a very haunted, very like charged place. Just energy wise. Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff's going on there. Yeah, I like that place. It's a cool place. I didn't perform Laugh Factory. I went to the Improv and hung out one night, but Laugh Factory, I didn't perform really. I performed a couple other small open mic places, but I didn't really get too deep in the scene. Yeah, I did a lot of like... I was only there like 2-3 days, by the way. I wasn't there like a long time. Yeah, you did probably almost the same as me. I did a bunch of rooms, but they were just like, they were just okay. They were the same as doing Toronto. It's the same as like Austin. Like I was very excited to go there because everyone talks about Austin like it's the second coming of whatever. And it very well might be, but it's the most inflated scene of all time. Like you go to these spots and like, unless you're a pro who like you have some, people on the inside there, or you do a Kill Tony appearance and like crush, that can change your life, obviously. But I'm doing like Creek in the Cave at 1 a.m. with like a list of 60 comics and we're doing 2 minutes. You're like, I don't want, like, I'm not trying to change your life. Well, I'm just like, dude, like I get better spots like in Toronto and can't, like I do better rooms. Like, why would I, Yeah. Like if you have some heat behind you and some followers and some stuff popping off, then sure, go down there and like, I'm sure it's great. Like they're pro shows or whatever. But if you're just some guy, like I'm going to move there and make it, dude. It's like, that's a waste of your time. Yeah. And even in the open, like even signing up for Kill Tony, I'm in line, talking to people and I'm like, how long do you do stand up for? They're like, a week. And you're like, what are you doing? Why are you even signing? Like, leave, man. Like, you're ruining. You just get out of here. Leave. Yeah. Come back in 2 years. Like, you're just wasting everyone's time. Yeah, I know. Who am I to say that or judge people? But it is true though, because like you're gonna be humiliated. Yeah. That you did Kill Tony when you were only a year in or 2 months in or whatever these people do. It's so stupid. I always think that you're better to start in some shitty place where you can get good. Yeah, you get mic time and then you get good. And then when you get good, then when you go out and then if you have to 3 minutes, boil your shit down to just the good parts so you can just punchline, like boom, boom, boom. Yeah, just really kill them. And then you get to do your shit again when they let you do time, And then that's what I hope, but I don't know. I still think you got to find your own people and you got to book your own gigs. And so much of his I don't want to produce shows and do that. That was never an interest of mine. But literally, I have a show we're starting in Toronto, September 14th, called The Bro Show. Oh, cool! At SoCap. So tickets will be on sale. We're gonna start trying to do that room because. And again, this idea, I had no interest in producing or hosting a show or whatever, but it's like, you kind of have to. And every show in Toronto, there's like, there's gay night, there's black trans night, there's, women of color wearing turbans night. Like there's every night, which is great. God bless them and have fun. I'm not getting on those shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well then me and my friend Ben, we're like, well, what are we like? We're doing bro comedy. We're doing bro. So the Bro Show, kind of like a rip off of the Man Show.
Yeah.
Sounds good. The Bro Show. It's like, yeah, let's do it. And we book like a really funny lineup of people.
Yeah.
That's another thing in Toronto that nobody talks about is these lineups are like purposely bad. They book like 2 funny people, 2 of their friends who suck, and then 2 people who aren't even doing comedy. So the lineups are, they try to make them like purposely not good because it's the whole like, oh, what if the feature outshines the headline? And what if this? And it's like, we're not doing that. We booked legitimately like the 6 funniest people I know. Let me correct that. We booked 5 of the funniest people I know and 1 guy who we all owed him a favor.
Oh, yeah.
We'll let you guys guess who it was, but everyone's great. But so we want to just put on like a show where it's just bros being bros. We have a burlesque dancer opening the show.
Cool.
We have a halftime act that may or may not be a little person. So it's going to be nuts. It's going to be crazy.
That's true.
And it's like, if we can start getting heat, make promo videos and make that hot, I think that opens some doors and we can get it going. Because otherwise, you're just at the mercy of everyone else. Like, dude, put me on. And you're doing 2-minute spots. Yeah. And it's like the whole thing's a gong show.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that what happens is like everybody's like so busy stroking each other that they end up like just like.
And that's the advantage, I think, what we talked about before we went on here of not living there.
Yeah.
Like I come in like a thief in the night. I hang out. I do my show. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Have a drink. I'm gone.
Yeah.
If you're there all the time, it's like, oh, this guy banged this guy's girlfriend. This guy is because you get booked. And it's like, I don't give a shit about that draw. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I can kind of get along with everyone because I'm not really involved in it. Where I think if you live there and you're in the shit, it's like unavoidable.
Yeah, I hate it so much because it doesn't matter, man. It's like, and it's not like there's one path to whatever you think you're going to. Everyone gets
the front door is locked and you have to try to get in the back door, the window, the roof. Like, you just got to find a way.
Yeah. That's it's different for everyone. And and like people bitch like, oh, this person gets an advantage because they're a woman or because they're a person of color or something. But they're going to get spots that they aren't ready for.
I had a huge conversation with a buddy about this, and it's easy to get, jealous or angry because I'm better than them. It's like, yeah, you probably are. But here's the thing. Those people that are getting those like right away shows that they shouldn't be getting, and they're getting them for political reasons, looks, friendships, affiliation, whatever. You're in a rush to the middle. So they get these big shows that are really good, and they're going to kind of peak out because they're not going to do well because they're not ready. They're not really funny. And then in a year or two, they're not really anywhere further because to get to that next level, you actually have to be good. And they haven't really got good. And the people who have seen them are like, oh, they're not funny. So it's like, that's just an L all the way around.
Yeah.
Where if you, like just from random guy who's actually funny and good, it might take a year or 2 longer.
Yeah.
But when you get that big shot, you're going to fucking hit a home run and get more doors open.
That's how
it's like
works,
they're getting ahead of you to the middle.
Yeah.
They're not getting ahead of you long term.
And
that's why I tell myself not to blow my head off in this business.
Yeah.
That's right. It's probably not even true what I'm saying.
No, it is true. And that's what I tell the girls too, who are like, oh no, I'm just as funny as everyone else is. Like, no, you're kind of not, but it's not like you're getting an advantage here. You're actually kind of been put at a disadvantage. Like,
well, it's also tough. Like people like how can you tell somebody to say no to an opportunity?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I would say yes.
Like you have to. Yeah.
So like I don't blame them at all. It's just the nature of the beast. Like their path is different than ours, and like if I get jealous because they're
getting jealous of a girl, what are you, gay?
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not gonna probably. Yeah, that's a clip of the week.
That's a clip.
Yeah, we're gonna end on that. We're just gonna end it. Sorry. How do they follow you, Jake?
Oh, at Jake S. Brennan on Instagram.
Jake S. Brennan.
Yeah, there's a Jake Brennan. He played Richie Rich, kid actor.
Oh, yeah.
Stole the name. Hate him. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, Jake S. Brennan on Instagram, Jake Brennan on YouTube. All my sketches are on there. That's Sketchy season 1 in its entirety is there. I have a short film coming out called The Shark. Oh. That's why I was in Austin for the film festival. Won Best Actor. Not bragging.
Did you really?
I did, yeah.
That is a brag, but it's a brag you should do. Because
it's a brag also because I wrote it, produced, directed, edited, did all that. And I made myself the villain in the movie. Because I was like, we can't have a white guy be the hero here. Yeah. So I was the villain. I was kind of the punching bag. And because I was the bad guy, I could get away with more kind of offensive or pushing it stuff.
Yeah. And
then they love that because it's like a bad guy you can root for. So that's kind of was my idea. And then I was able to execute it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah. All the people you love are heels. They're bad guys.
Yeah.
Nobody loves Captain America.
No.
It's like, who cares?
No, exactly. When I was a kid, like I loved Piper and Iron Sheik and stuff like that.
Best.
Yeah,
I like the bad guys. All the bad guys.
Yeah, the bad guys were the best. That's the best job in the world, to be able to go into an arena and make everyone hate you. So much better.
So much more fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's so much fun. I don't even I had one girl get mad at me, and she ended up standing on her chair because I told this vagina joke, and she was like,
she didn't have one anymore. No,
she had a big floppy vagina, and I made a joke about them being big and floppy.
If the shoe fits, if the meat curtains flow.
Yeah, exactly. But it made me laugh so hard when she was angry at me. Like I just was laughing in her face, like belly laughing in her face. Like,
I think we've lost that though because people are afraid, like, oh, she's gonna call and I'm gonna lose my job. Like, you're like, it's okay if people are mad at you. I think people aren't comfortable enough just sitting in that. Like, just let it happen.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like I just like getting a reaction anyway. Like at least they're not like just waiting for you to get off the stage, right? And they're at least invested.
Be memorable.
Yeah,
you don't have to be funny. Be memorable.
Yeah.
And most people aren't.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I saw you at Swazi's and you did a 3-point stance on the stage, I was like that is it is a sight to behold. You take up a lot of real estate up there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm a D1 level football player, dude.
Were you an O lineman?
No, I used to. How dare you? I used to be lean, dude. I used to be like, we can put a clip in here. I used to be lean and jacked, and I played defensive end in football, and I was really good. I was fast, a little bit of tight end too. I'd kind of play both sides of the ball. And but then I got like at the end in high school, I really focused on basketball, and I was just like a Charles Barkley type player, just getting rebounds, dunking on people, like beefing. Like I was like a goon.
Oh yeah.
And it was great. And I love basketball. It was like my number one thing I wanted to do in life.
We had a guy who played in my high school basketball team that I wasn't on. But he was exactly like that sort of role.
Yeah. You need that guy.
Didn't even look like a basketball player, really. Looked like a football player. But I
was skinny, but I always had like big arms and shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
From the perfect push-up system. All right. And a lot of band work when I was a young boy.
Band work?
I did like 1,000 reps every night before bed when I was young.
Oh, yeah, right.
Seriously. And I think that actually like spiked my growth of like my arms and shoulders. Before I go to bed, I do that. I do the hand squeezing things, like all the corny shit.
Yeah.
I did when I was like super young. And I think that just like somehow like when you hit puberty and you're doing that, just like super shoot. I don't know. Total bro science, but it worked.
It worked?
Definitely worked. But yeah, no, you saw me because we've kind of sort of like seen each other. Like we have like mutual friends and stuff. But again, I never wanted to bother you because another thing that's lost on today's society, everyone thinks they're on the same level. It's like, dude, you've been doing it longer. Like you have a show. Like, I'm not going to bug this guy. Just if he wants to talk to me, we can talk. But I'm not going to go up to you and be like, dude, have me on your podcast, bro. We should be buddies. It's like, no, leave him alone. If we organically become friends, we're friends.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. So then a couple of shows over, and then we did the Swayze's whatever show, and that was kind of a nightmare, but we made it fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And whatever.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
Yeah, it ended up being fun. But the first couple of comics were kind of not seasoned, not really ready for it, and they were kind of just trying to do like a monologue and stuff. People weren't paying attention. It was kind of but we got them. Like you did great. Joe was there. Like everyone. The back half of the show was really
I think if they would have put one of us up early and then buried them in there, it would have probably worked better.
Yeah.
But the guy said the host said he was going to do more time because he had to do more time, and he said if Joe wasn't going to do it, then he would have to do it, and then he'd bring me up, and then Joe would close, and I'm like, I don't want to hear 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
So I said I would do the more time, and then they put me on last, but. I was just like, just for the sake of the audience, I'm like, don't make them go through that. Like another 10 minutes of it. So, but it was still like, I used to book shows there. I still plan to, but I always book weekend ones and then it's ticketed.
Well, yeah. Cause I felt like those people, I don't think they knew there's a comedy show there. So it's like they're trying to get their wings, talk to their, remember that one guy with like 12 kids? It's like they're trying to hang out and then you're just like, so I'm out there getting my dick sucked, all right? Like it's just like,
I know.
Can I eat my chicken? Like,
we were, it was ambushed. Yeah, I know. That's why I always thought that room would only work if they put someone out back, like a tent out back.
Yeah.
And you could only go out there for the comedy and then everybody else can just stay in the bar, like,
yeah.
Because I think it has to be a separate area.
Yeah, ambush is a good word when they're just trying to get dinner. You're like, you're going to listen to me tell dick jokes for 10 minutes, buddy.
It's brutal, man. I've been to some real bad ambush comedy shows. Like
I try to I'm not good at being an audience member at shows because to me, like they're just annoying me. Like I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to focus on my thing. I'm either trying to have a funny conversation with my buddies, so I go in there like jovial, or I'm just like I'm running in my head, I'm focusing. So I don't listen to these people because I know this is rude, but I know they're not funny, not talented, not smart. So I like zone out. I don't want to listen to them because it's just like if you're around somebody who's negative all the time, you'll become negative.
Yeah,
If you're around unfunny, dumb people and you let that soak into you, you will become that 100%. So like, I'm just blocking you out, everybody, because it's like, I'm going to do my thing no matter what. And then it goes up there, it goes how it goes, but it's like, I'm going to do me. If I listen to this guy talk about like his Mexican wife, or this guy talking about politics, or it's like, just gonna leave. Like, what are you doing here, man?
Well, that's what I was saying.
That's probably not the best audience member, but it's like, that's not my job either.
That's why I said I didn't want to, I wasn't big on meeting you for the first couple times I had a chance to, because I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, they come and go. I don't want to invest any time in somebody, especially if he ends up, I've never seen his act. If I end up hating his act, I don't want to be friends with a guy I hate his act, because then you
it's impossible. You can't be friends with someone you think's not funny.
Yeah, because
it's very hard.
Well, it's hard. Yeah, I have a couple friends,
especially women. No,
and then,
No, but 100%.
Dan, I have to talk to you about this before we go. Okay. Dan Brennan has also been on this show, known to this show, known to our audience of our show. Yeah. Any relation?
No, it's so annoying. I know you don't know this, but it's so annoying because it's like, look at him, all right? Look at him.
Yeah.
Roll a clip, and then
I will put up a picture.
And then look at me.
Yeah.
You think we're related?
Yeah. What? You're actually the same age. You know that?
Yeah, we're the exact same age.
Yeah.
I'm aging slightly better. But no, he is a good guy or whatever, but I don't, it's so annoying.
1 year younger than me.
I have no idea how old you are.
Well, Dan is 1 year younger than me. Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, like, I don't look, right?
I don't look the same age as Dan. And
no, you have young, like smoking weed down by the river energy. That's the energy you have.
Yeah.
I know somebody who might be related to you in Niagara Falls, Warren Van Dyke.
Yeah.
No? Shout out Warren. We used to work at Peppermint's, the male strip club together. Great guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was the best summer job of my life by far.
Were you security at Mint's?
No, man. Again, how dare you? I used to be
dancing?
I used to be hot. I did a little bit of everything. I was mostly where I made my money, though, was organizing the after parties. That's where I made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be a shooter boy. I'd do like a shot giveaway where we pick a random bride. Obviously, I get her best friend to pay us like $200 or whatever, keep it under the table, keep it myself.
Yeah.
And allegedly. And we'd get her up and I'd do a little dance. I had like a couple moves or whatever. I'd sell shots, and then I did a body shot, which is where you give them you do a couple moves, put the shot in your belt buckle, and they suck it out.
Oh, yeah.
But I made most of the money setting up the after parties. So Niagara Falls is not really a big town. So like, it's mostly the same Airbnbs that had all the after parties up for all the bachelorettes. We went to the same house like 5 weekends in a row one time because every bachelorette party just kept renting it. And I'd be like, okay, how many of the guys you want? Okay, you want that guy, this guy? Okay, we'll get 4 of us. That's $600, right? Like, okay, they'd pay us, and like then I'd tell the boys, "Hey, we got $200." Get the restaurants, I'll just pay them off, and we'd go there and we'd spend the night with them. We'd drink, party, do whatever happened. We just hang out and party, and that was like my job. And I was making an absurd amount of cash. I was only working 1 or 2 nights a week in the summer, and the rest of the time I just work out, drink, party. It was like the best summer job ever.
That's crazy. I didn't know such a thing existed.
I don't think it really existed before or after.
That guy with the that book, The Swazi Show, he said that he got paid to do. He would like be like a butler that had to wear like a bow tie with no shirt and stuff
at a male strip club.
No, it would be like for parties or something. Like
that's called Dancing Bear.
Yeah,
porno.
Yeah. Dancing Bear. I watch that stuff. It's where regular girls like blow strippers.
It's not though.
They're not regular girls. No.
Yeah,
they're plants. They're in wearing regular clothes.
I know my list of porn stars. Okay, I know. I could name her. I could name every single one there.
I know. I hate when somebody
pretend
when they try to pass them off as an amateur and they're no amateur.
You have the greatest body ever. How is that? You're an amateur. You have the best body ever.
Yeah.
I don't think you're amateur, man.
Yeah, when you're amateur,
professional.
You need to have like the telltale signs
certain
of
innocence.
Yes. Certain amount of cottage cheese, certain amount of disproportion, certain amount of
ball work. A lack of ball work usually is a big tell.
Oh, rhythm.
The pros they're on the ball work.
Yeah, and
the amateurs like, oh, do you like me grabbing your ball? Just like, I do.
And even when they're doing something dirty, when they're amateurs,
they're almost embarrassed by it,
and they're doing it wrong. They're not doing it with the same gusto. Like it's like they're
it's
just
a technique issue.
Yeah,
it's what do they say, Bruce Lee? I'd rather be a master at one kick 1,000 times than 1,000 kicks one time. And let me tell you, the pros, they can do that kick. All right.
Yeah, I know. They are good at fucking, but
I've been trying to lay off the porn though. I've been trying to.
Yeah, me too.
I don't, there's like a movement nowadays where people are like, no fab, there's not, it's like, relax. But there's times in my life, like I would say Right now, I'm a little chubby, but my test gets pretty high, I think. And on those nights, like I can be fapping 2-3 times a night. And then I'm like, this is not good. This is unhealthy. And then if I save that energy, I feel like I'm like better in life. You know what I mean? Or if you're just sitting fapping and eating all day, you're just like, you become like a sloth.
That is true.
Like you have to use that energy properly, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I also think that sometimes my balls just ache because they're full of jizz and it has to come out. You know,
you let it grow that much.
Feels like it. Sometimes even after just a day.
After a day, they're that full. Wow.
Like sometimes, maybe it's 2 days.
Let's see.
It just feels like you're walking around. You got a bit more weight in there. You know what I mean? Like there's a bit of PSI.
I felt the opposite, where my nuts have hurt because they've been so empty.
So empty, and they're just like coughing. One
time, I think we were going to try to tell the story earlier about the doctor. Whatever. One time I had a ball thing. My left nut was hurting. I was like, oh man, I was so nervous. Like, you know, and I didn't want to go to my family doctor because like I said, she saw my wiener when it first, day one, she was seeing that day one dick. Yeah. And I don't want to go there now at whatever, 25 or 24 and her be like, oh, it's the same dick. Right, or like, you know, this guy had the biggest baby dick and now he has, nothing, right?
Oh, it's got a little hair on it.
Yeah. So I went to some random brown guy because I'm like, he'll be professional, right? Very cold hands, but he fondled my nutsack, kind of felt around, and I had a thing called epididymitis. All right, this is a real thing.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, I had it, and I don't know if it was like an infection or something. I banged a dirty chick. I don't know what it was.
No, it's just an inflammation of the vas deferens.
Yeah, but my ball hurt, so I got medicine for it, and I was fine. But I was worried. That was a scare.
Did it swell?
A little bit, but it was more just so like the achy pain would come, and I was like, oh, like just you get nervous. Right away, you think the worst, right? So you're nervous about it. But yeah, the Indian guy.
It was just like a medicine that got rid of it.
Yeah, just some antibiotics. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's just all I need.
I also had a bladder infection for like a year, and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was chlamydia. I thought it was something. I got a bunch of tests, and then I was like literally just Googling stuff, doing my own research. And I told the doctor, I'm like, yeah, it's a bladder infection. Like just some random doctor. And they're like, yeah, cool. Gave me the medicine. I was fine. Took like 3 doctors they didn't know. I'm like, hey man, Google it.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
What?
Yeah. I had Lyme disease. I thought that was a bad thing.
Is that like from bugs in Africa or what is that?
Ticks.
Is this the thing Bill Gates will try to inject people for?
I don't know.
He's a big needle guy.
No, I think that's Ebola. No, or
some other disease that he made in a lab, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying it was
how was Lyme disease?
Brutal. It's a brutal thing.
Like, were you sick or how did it make you feel?
Yeah, you feel like you got the flu, and then all your bones and muscles ache, and it's just a nightmare. I had it for 10 days, and then they gave me the antibiotics, and after 3 days of that, you're totally fine.
Wow.
And then I thought you always had it, but I think you always have it like you always had
herpes or AIDS. It's like you don't really have it, even if you have it.
Yeah. Like no, I think you got it, but like you can't get it, like chicken pox. Like you can't get it again.
Yeah.
So, but I can get other things from other ticks. He told me
the ticks are after you.
Yeah,
I think I'm tick free so far, to be honest.
And the infection specialist in Brantford, he loves comedy. All he wanted to do, he spent like a half hour talking to me about comedy.
See, I try to not tell people any stuff because I don't like it, because the conversation's always the same.
Yeah?
Yeah, you tell people you're an actor, comic, whatever, writer, it's just like, I don't want to do this.
Oh, yeah.
So I make up fake jobs and tell them.
Oh, nothing. I just started telling them I like it.
I don't want to do the conversation because I'm going to be, hey, they're going to pitch me a joke or go, hey, did you ever meet this famous guy? Or like, hey, like it's just all, I don't want to talk about it with you people. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I can definitely.
I like that you have a good attitude and want to share with them. I just go, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to do it.
No, I used to lie. I used to say not know how to answer that question because I didn't. Once I quit my job, then I was like, I don't know what I am. I like have these like ideas on how I can like get to the next thing, you know, and then, but I'm like, I don't know. And then start calling myself a comedian. Then I could just call myself something. And then
I still don't feel comfortable saying that.
Yeah, it took me I'd say 6 or 7 years before I said it. But you are if you are. You know, you're doing it. You are it. You know, like
I just even like the acting stuff or anything. Like I don't. It's weird, man. It feels. I guess like I have definitely a belief in myself and stuff, but just like saying it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a director. I'm an actor. It's like Shut up.
Yeah. It is a tough thing to say. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you are. This. You know what's even worse than that? People that go, I'm an aspiring, whatever. It's like, well, then stop doing it. You're not doing it then.
Yeah.
I would say I am those things, but to say it to people feels like, well, I'm not a millionaire yet, so I don't want to say it.
Yeah. Or I don't.
Because if I have to say it, then you don't know me, so I'm not really it. Where if I was an actor, comedian who was like successful, you would know me.
Yeah, but if you're,
I don't know.
It all depends on your measure of success too. Like I don't care if I'm famous as long as it's like there's, like I said, that 20,000 people maybe know me.
But I think that's the thing. There's two different aspects of how people look at this. There's people who are doing it purely to be famous. There's people who want to be good at it, and the result of being good at it will get you fame.
Yeah.
Most people get into it for the wrong reason.
But like money or enough to like live, but not. I don't need to. I don't want to be like hounded by anyone at the grocery store.
I want to be big.
You want to be like bothered by people?
Arena level guy. That's the goal. I want to be driving my Ford Bronco around, just rocking it.
Yeah.
At least for a bit. I think it's cool to do that for a bit, then leave. I'd like to do that for a bit, then leave, start a family in like Montana, have a couple of Amazon children, then come back, win an Oscar, and then leave again. That's the career path I think is cool.
Yeah.
People stay too long. It's like you see Kevin Hart of The Rock. It's like, oh, you guys should have left 3 years ago. You're not cool. Now you're a joke.
Yeah.
If you're on top for that long, you become a meme. Where if you have a good run, even Eddie Murphy did it. He left for a bit, had a million kids, and he came back, and we're like, oh, Eddie Murphy, we love him in like seeing movies now.
Yeah.
You have to leave and come back. Otherwise, you're just like, you become a joke.
Yeah.
Like even like the great Al Pacino, great actor, then for a while there, he kind of became a joke.
Yeah.
And then, he's still doing great work and stuff. But when you become like a caricature of yourself.
Yeah.
I Brendan Schaub that right there. I kind of messed up the word.
Yeah. As long as you just do this, you don't want people to get like worn out of you.
And I think everybody nowadays does that. That's why it's cool. Like rap artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, they do an album, they leave for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I have to live and develop new material for this. Or somebody like Drake or something, they put an album every 6 months. It's like, it's just diminishing returns every time because you're doing the same topic, same stuff. And I think comics are the same way.
Yeah. You have to spend some time living life. Yeah. So you have something to write about.
100%.
That is, we got to kind of wrap it up, but I have not mentioned our sponsors, CleanFlow. So I just wanted to quickly mention CleanFlow. This show does not happen without CleanFlow. So if you could, please go check them out. That's KLEENFLO. CleanFlow.com. Lube up your life with CleanFlow. Bust a Nut with Honey Goo by CleanFlow. That's CleanFlow. I said it enough. That's CleanFlow. Thank you. They pay us money. That's good. And also go support our Patreon. You can join the Dutch Hall Royal family. That's patreon.com/Dutch Hall. And if you'd like to...
The 100th subscriber gets a gift. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to predict it. I'm going to speak it into existence.
Okay,
Patreon member 100 gets a big gift.
A big gift.
Big old gift.
And if you want to give us some feedback, do it at thedutchhall@gmail.com or go to... what do you call it when you go in? Slip into my DMs.
Yeah. Get the DMs popping.
At Dutch Hall. That's it. And subscribe to my YouTube channel for Christ's sakes. We need to get enough so we can get paid on that thing. So if you're watching it and not subscribed, please do that for me. That's it. And follow Jake Brennan. Go see his show at the SoCal Theater. SoCap Theater. And that's it. Until next week, we will see you NT. See you next Thursday. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think are you sure though? 'Cause it was on at first. I think you took